welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here. So we are back with my Sunday night series where we explore the parks going land by land, area by area. So if you've seen these videos before, you know exactly what we're doing. For those of you who are new to this, I am dissecting the parks area by area to help you guys get a better sense of what is there. Rides, attractions, shops, bathrooms, places to eat, if rides are accessible or not, if they're great for families and kids, and kind of just little tidbits about the ride so that while you're planning your Disney vacations, you get a better sense of, you know, what you should put on your top 10 list, what you should try to do while you were there. So we need to get started because this week's video is gonna be a long one. Well, at least I anticipate it. So I have already done Adventureland, Frontierland, and Liberty Square. So when I left off last time, Liberty Square enters Fantasyland, which is the biggest area of Magic Kingdom, and it is of course the most popular area. And due to this reason, I'm gonna dissect Fantasyland into two different videos. So this is gonna be part one of the Fantasyland kind of dissecting. But for those of you who don't know, I am going by the park map. So when you actually go to Magic Kingdom, you kind of know what I'm doing. You can kind of follow along if you actually have one of these maps. So let's get into it. Are you guys ready? Okay, so we left off at Liberty Square. So the last thing at Liberty Square was Haunted Mansion. As soon as you turn out of Haunted Mansion, let's see, what is that? Going left, you are gonna hit the very beginning of Fantasyland. And the first thing there, the very first thing there on the left-hand side are the Rapunzel Bathrooms. And you're thinking, Nina, who cares? It's a bathroom. Why are you mentioning a bathroom, Nina? The Rapunzel bathrooms are adorable. They are amazing. They are the cutest bathrooms over at Magic Kingdom. So make sure you take your little princess or your little kiddo over to explore the Rapunzel bathrooms. Now, something to note about those bathrooms is as you're walking away from Haunted Mansion, look down because you'll actually see Rapunzel's horse. You're gonna see his shoe prints in the cement like he was walking around Rapunzel's area. Now, if you look up, you're actually gonna see Rapunzel's tower, which is super duper adorable. And if you keep going, you're gonna kind of see the Rapunzel lanterns, and the bathrooms are so beautifully decorated. You gotta check that out. Now, I am gonna note, towards the evening, and I don't know if they're doing these per COVID, but they probably are gonna bring it back soon, is they do these gorgeous evening lantern magic shots. So if you have memory, make sure you head back to the Rapunzel bathroom area and look for a cast member photographer because they put out the most adorable pictures where you kind of are holding up a lantern and it glows with the night. It's gorgeous. So make sure you guys, of course, check out the Rapunzel bathrooms. But let's get straight into attractions. Okay, so if you keep going, kind of sort of feels connected to the Rapunzel bathrooms, is the most iconic ride of all Disney, of all of Magic Kingdom. Do you guys know what ride I'm talking about? It's a Small World. Of course, it is the most iconic ride, and I don't know why, because it wasn't even one of the original rides at Disneyland when it first came out, but It's a Small World, aka It's a Small World After All, is the ride right there next to the Rapunzel bathrooms on the left-hand side. And so for those of you who don't know what It's a Small World is, it is essentially a boat ride. There is water involved, but no, you are not gonna get wet. It is a family-friendly ride for all ages, grandmas and grandpas and kiddos and pregnant people and everyone involved. It's about a 10-minute experience, although I've never really timed it. It is 100% colorful and happy and cheerful, and I promise you when you are done riding that ride, that song will never leave your brain for the rest of your trip. One thing to note is you do have to transfer to a standard wheelchair to ride this ride, but I love it. I love It's a Small World. We will go on it every single trip. One thing to kind of note, which is kind of fun, At the end of this ride, if you have a Magic Band, I think it's only for Magic Bands. I don't think it's for Magic Mobile too, although I don't really know. Towards the end of the ride, they kind of say goodbye in all the different languages. And as of lately, they have been sort of scanning your Magic Band, and they just might say goodbye to you. A few times I have posted them in my videos where they have said goodbye to me, they've said goodbye to my kids, and it's just kind of a fun way to end your experience with It's a Small World. 100% most iconic ride, gotta try it, gotta do it. Everyone's gotta ride It's a Small World. It's kind of a thing. And like I said, water, you're not getting wet, there's no dips, there's no drips, there's no hills, there's no nothing, it's just flat sailing. So yeah, give It's a Small World a try. Now, before I go to the ride right across from it, I'm gonna go what's kind of connected to It's a Small World, and that is Pinocchio's Village Haus. That is a quick service. In fact, while you're in It's a Small World and you just start getting ready to enter, the singing area, if you look straight, you can actually see Pinocchio's Village Haus in your viewpoint, which means if you're eating over there at that location and you get a window seat, you can actually look down into It's a Small World while you dine, which is pretty cool. Absolutely love to do that. So Pinocchio's Village Haus is known for their flatbreads, aka kind of like a pizza. They have Caesar salads, breadsticks, chicken tenders, those kind of things. It's kind of, I don't know, that quickie Italiano type food. It's not really a place I eat at often because it's very hard to feed my kids at that location. I can't really get a gluten-free pizza that's also vegan with dairy-free cheese. So unless they've changed that, last time I was there, I couldn't feed my kids at that location. But I have eaten there previous. It's absolutely adorable. And of course, connected to the other side of those are bathrooms. Again, more bathrooms. This area is for kiddos. Fantasyland is known as the area for kids. It has the most kiddie rides in one condensed kind of area. So yeah, you're gonna hear about a lot of bathrooms. All right, so if we backtrack just a little bit, directly across from It's a Small World. So if you're at the Rapunzel Bathrooms, on the left side is It's a Small World. On the right side, directly across from each other, is Peter Pan's Flight. Now, I know you guys have seen this in my videos. We start pretty much every Magic Kingdom day with this ride, and people often ask, well, why? Why, Nina? It's because for some crazy reason, this 45-second ride can get up to 60 minutes, 90 minutes, over an hour long wait really, really quickly. It's another really popular kind of famous ride. It is fun for all ages. You're kind of, it's just a track ride, but you get into like a pirate ship and you kind of hover over the Peter Pan experience without giving it away too much. Of course, if you've seen my videos, you know what I'm talking about. It is 100% for all ages, grandmas, grandpas, kiddos, pregnant people, whatever. It is considered one of Disney's dark rides, which does not mean it's horror or scary. It just means some of the scenes do get kind of dark as they lighten up other areas that they want you to focus on. The only issue with this ride is if you are in a scooter or a wheelchair, is you must be able to walk into this ride. Because it is fast moving, you do need to get out of your vehicle and kind of quickly get into the ship. If you have concerns about that, go ahead and talk to a cast member while you were there. But I absolutely love Peter Pan's Flight. Again, we go every single trip. It's usually the first ride of the day. We kind of just want to knock it out before the line gets too long. So if we keep going, directly next to Peter Pan's Flight, there is a gift shop, and it's called Fantasy Fair. Now, I've noticed this gift shop kind of likes to change what they sell inside, but right now, currently, the last time I was there, it was filled with hats, mouse ears, mouse headbands, and all sorts of things. They also sell blankets and jackets and hoodies, things that they can actually embroider, because they do have a little embroidery machine back there. So they sell a lot of items that you can get custom made with your name or maybe a gift for someone, but it's typically just a gift shop. So They may eventually also have like keychains and magnets and little kind of souvenirs. But as of late, like I said, it is mouse ears and headbands. So directly next to Fantasy Fair, which is Mickey's Philharmonic, which we're gonna get to, but Fantasy Fair is like the gift shop for Mickey's Philharmonic. So Mickey's Philharmonic, which is next to the gift shop, is a 3D movie theater kind of experience. It is very Mickey, it is very Donald, and it is a lot of music. It is a 100% great show. And because it's a theater show, it is accessible. So you can go ahead and roll in with your wheelchair, your scooter, or whatever. It is a 3D movie, so you do get the 3D glasses. It's great. It's a great movie for kids. It's a great way to kind of, you know, kill some time and to get some air conditioning. Is it a ride I do every single trip? No. But I also don't have little kids. So I think if my kids were younger and I needed a place to just, you know, come on guys, let's just sit and chill and relax for a moment, that's a great activity for them, is to do Mickey's Philharmonic. Of course, last time I was there, which again is COVID, the line was really long. I think it was really long because it's a theater show and they weren't filling all the seats and all these kind of things. But they're starting to fill up all the seats now, so that shouldn't be an issue. Otherwise, I've never really had to wait long for Mickey's Philharmonic. Usually you're just waiting for the previous show to end so that you can enter. But it's very much like Mickey and an orchestra, and of course Donald is, you know, causing issues and there's some hijinks and stuff going wrong. Don't want to give it away. But yeah, it's musical and it's Disney. So that essentially is Mickey's Philharmonic. Now, if you keep going to the left, like you're kind of following this little path here, you are gonna run smack dab right into the castle. That's right, the most iconic thing of all Disney, of all of Magic Kingdom, is Cinderella's Castle. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, Nina, why didn't you just start with Cinderella's Castle? Well, that's because I started with the first kind of area of the park. So we're taking the map and we're going kind of full circle around. If you were to enter Magic Kingdom and you went up and down a main street and you just went directly straight, directly forward, you would of course hit Cinderella's Castle. So we're kind of now at that same point. If you wanted to skip Adventureland and Frontierland and Liberty Square, if you just went straight forward and walked through the castle, we would be at the same point that we are now. In fact, if you do what I do and you hit Peter Pan first, that's exactly how we get there. We skip all those other areas and we go straight through to the castle and we hit Peter Pan's flight and we do Fantasyland. In fact, insider tip, I always do Fantasyland first. Do you want to know why? It's because it gets the busiest, quickest, the soonest, the fastest. Once those little princesses and kiddos wake up from their slumbers and parents finally get them to the park, that area gets busy quick. And there's so much there that sometimes it feels a little congested, or it can feel congested. So I kind of like to get in and out. I like to wake up, be there at rope drop, quickly do Fantasyland, and then get the heck out and do the other areas of the park. Because pretty much anyone with little kiddos is hitting Fantasyland. I mean, that's pretty much the go-to area. So I like to get in and get out. But anyway, we're at Cinderella's Castle. What's at Cinderella's Castle, guys? Well, Cinderella's royal table is there. That is the most iconic table service restaurant over at Magic Kingdom. It's where everyone wants to eat. Back when there was a meal plan, it was 2 credits. Right now it is pay out of pocket, and it's pretty pricey. It's got the couple $sign marker on it. I want to say it's about $85 per person, something like that. It was about $250 or so for my family of 4 to eat there. Yeah, it's a pricey meal, but you're eating inside the castle. How many people can say that? I definitely think that doing Cinderella's Royal Table is something you should do at least once in your life. We have done it a few times. In fact, once Bippity Boppity Boutique opens back up, which is in the same location, I would always tell clients, first you want to get your makeover and get all princessy. Then you want to go eat with the princesses over at Cinderella's Royal Table. But currently, right now, because you know Disney loves to change things, right now, Bippity Boppity is currently not open, and Cinderella's Royal Table only has one princess right now, and that is Cinderella. And actually, if you look up this restaurant, it doesn't even mention that it's a character meal. So Cinderella's not really guaranteed, but I can tell you when we went, Cinderella 100% was there. She was greeting everyone, doing her wave, coming out. She came out like every 20 minutes or something. It was absolutely amazing. I have a full video completely on Cinderella's royal table. And if you have food allergies, the chef there was amazing at concocting, you know, some delicious eats for my family. But we need to keep going. So right next to Cinderella's royal table is kind of like the gift shop for Cinderella's royal table or for the princess kind of fantasy area, and that is Sir Mickey's. So Sir Mickey's is a gift shop. Last time I was there, it was under construction, but I do believe that construction is now over. So it is definitely the place to get some princessy souvenirs, maybe some costumes, some crowns, those kind of things, any sort of royal things for the boys, a shield, a sword, and all that sort of stuff. It's also a good place to just kind of get some general gift shoppy items, keychains, magnets, pins, all that sort of stuff is over at Sir Mickey's. If I remember correctly, they used to have an interactive Minnie Mouse over there in that gift shop, kind of like a little display. So that's something you might want to check out. So if you're at the castle, directly in front of the castle, let's say we're walking through the castle, directly in front of it is Prince Charming's Regal Carousel. It is what it is, guys. It is 100% a carousel. It just goes around and around with horses and things alike that you can ride on. We absolutely love the carousel. In fact, when my son was at that difficult little toddlerist age, he would ride that carousel over and over and over again to the point where mommy needed a break. But anyway, the carousel is a great ride. It's kind of one of those iconic amusement park type of rides. And I will say that pre-COVID, which is kind of returning, all these things are kind of returning back quickly, guys, so you never know what's going to be there. But pre-COVID, the evil stepsisters, Anastasia and Drizella, would come out and they would actually ride on the carousel and kind of yell at people and make just a bunch of laughter and banter and stuff back and forth. It was absolutely amazing. Love those two crazy sisters, but they would often ride the carousel with guests, which was pretty cool. As of late, per COVID, for whatever reason, I think maybe they weren't filling up the entire carousel. It did have a long line for the first time in forever. Got that? The line was like 45 minutes for the carousel, which personally, I'm like, I ain't waiting 45 minutes to ride on a carousel. However, traditionally, it isn't usually that long, and the carousel is great for those kiddies. There's also usually a stroller parking area behind the carousel. Stroller parking has moved and changed and evolved as COVID and things have happened. In fact, I did an entire video on strollers. But traditionally, there is stroller parking right there behind Cinderella's royal table, which is a good place to kind of park your stroller, do all of Fantasyland, and then come back and pick up your stroller. But to keep this video sort of on the short side, we got to keep going because there's a lot to talk about inside Fantasyland. So if we go back to Sir Mickey's, so Carousel's kind of in the center, right? Nothing's really connected to it. So if we go back to the castle and we turn the corner and we hit Sir Mickey's, if we keep going down, it kind of goes out and then around. So if you keep going down the perimeter, like the path of stores, you're gonna hit the Friar's Nook. Now the Friar Nook is like a counter service type area. It's not quite quick service because there is no seating indoors, although they do have some outdoor seating. It is rather limited, but the Friar Nook is a great place to quickly grab some breakfast. They do have a breakfast sandwich, they have donuts, they have some sausage and gravy thing in a bowl. Not really sure, I don't eat sausage and gravy, but that's what they have there for breakfast. And at lunch, they are known for hot dogs, crazy kind of loaded mac and cheese, and loaded tater tots. Now, the last time I was at Friar's Nook, they had some weird opening times, like they weren't really open 7 days a week. So make sure if you want to eat at Friar's Nook, you pay attention to the opening and closing times. But I will say that right now they are advertising that they can serve some of their items in like a super cool Mickey souvenir bowl. So maybe you want to check that out. I kind of want one. I haven't eaten at Friar's Nook in a couple of trips, so I might be going back because of course they do have a vegan sausage on the menu. So yeah, Friar Nook, it's kind of like a hidden gem. I don't think everyone really goes there because most families are looking for places like Pinocchio's Village Haus, which is a traditional quick service with lots of seating inside, which kind of leaves Friar Nook for maybe just the people who are walking by and notice it, or for pass holders or locals. So if you are interested in mac and cheese, loaded tater tots, those kind of things, make sure you check out the Friar's Nook. Just like I said, though, there isn't like a ton of seating, so you might have to find a place to kind of, you know, feed everyone. Now, right next to the Friar's Nook, and this is the last thing we're going to talk about because like I said, we are turning Fantasyland into 2 videos. The last thing right next to the Friar's Nook is Storybook Treats. Now, Storybook Treats is essentially, it's not an ice cream shop because you can't just get whatever you want, but they are known for their ice cream frozen type desserts. So there's a lot of ice cream, Dole Whips, floats, and then they do usually have some sort of seasonal special themed dessert at that location. Right now, I do believe it's the Peter Pan float, which is Dole Whip Sprite with like a little Peter Pan hat with a feather. Or maybe it's just the feather. Either way, that's kind of a fun place to get a cool treat. It is right next to Winnie the Pooh, which we will talk about next video, but it's kind of like right there. And when you get hot and you kind of need a frozen treat, it's a good place to kind of go. Storybook Treats is more of a counter service, so there isn't any seating, but since they've removed the mask outside policy, you can go ahead and order your ice cream or your float and kind of eat as you go as you head over to the next ride. So yeah, that's Fantasyland Part 1. I will say that a few years back when they were building Seven Dwarf Mine Train, which is in the next video, they kind of took Fantasyland and they kind of divided it, and it ended up being Fantasyland and New Fantasyland. So next week we will talk about New Fantasyland. It is no longer called New Fantasyland. That probably only lasted like a year or two. But when Seven Dwarf Mine Train did come out, they built a few other things, which are in the next video, which was then, you know, New Fantasyland. So anyway, guys, I hope this video helped you out. Again, Fantasyland is, I mean, it's just kind of the place to be, especially if you have a little one, most especially if you have a princess. Most of the rides in this area are very kid-based. They are family-friendly. They are fun for all. But next week, I will be mentioning 2 rides that maybe not so much. Actually, 3 rides, maybe not so much, that you need to know a little more about. But either way, it's a small world, Peter Pan, whatever. Everyone loves those iconic rides. You 100% need to give Fantasyland a try. And like I said, you can follow the park map like I'm doing for these videos, or if you just want to get straight into Fantasyland, go ahead and just walk up and down Main Street, go right through the castle, and enjoy. But I will mention, as you walk through the castle, take a few minutes and look around, because the castle has the most beautiful mosaic murals inside, and they're gorgeous. So as you're running to Peter Pan, just take a few seconds and look, because it's beautiful. But anyway, guys, as always, mahalo for watching. I hope you enjoy these type of videos. I know some of you, this isn't really your cup of tea because maybe you go to Disney so often that you're like, Nina, I already know these things. But for those of you who are new to Disney, or you haven't been in a while, or it's your first time going with grandkids or whatever, I'm hoping these videos are helpful to you. So let me know, keep letting me know if I'm on the right path with these videos and that you enjoy them. I absolutely love that type of feedback. But as always, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. If the subscribe button is red, please click it, turn it gray, hit the little bell icon for notifications, like this video, and like I said, comment. What do you want me to add to these type of videos to make them better? Or do you love them the way they are and I should absolutely keep going? Please let me know. But as always, guys, mahalo for watching. Nina, out.